Now let's go ahead and create a few more pieces for the engine. So these covers on the side are what we're going to be concentrating on now. And you can see how these are kind of all molded together. Okay, a lot of these pieces. Now, sometimes that's going to be a pain to be able to model things like that, but we'll look at how we can use a mental ray trick to actually make a lot of this geometry on the engine look like it's kind of melded together. So for this to work, I'm just going to use some simple cylinders and shapes to build out these specific shapes. So we'll start just with our cylinder right here. So I'll go ahead and just pull this out. And we'll give it a little bit of thickness here. All right. And so this looks like be right on line with that. So I think that should be okay. And I want to go ahead and dial down the number of sides on this. So I'm just going to take that down to 12 for now. And let's take down the cap segments as well. Till we get something like that. So 2 cap segments will work for us. Okay, let's go ahead and now convert this to an editable poly. Take all these polygons and scale them up just a little bit. Okay, then we'll go ahead and pull those out. Do we get something like that? And then we'll go ahead and do an inset on that. So something like that to give a little bit of hardness to the edges. Let's go ahead and take this edge, select the ring, connect on that, add a couple segments, and pinch that out to the ends. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing here. Just harden that up. All right. So that gives us our basic cylinder shape that when we smooth it, gives us a nice little shape there. Now we don't have any of this blending, and we don't have these cylinders blending on top of this yet, but we'll look at that as we move along. All right, let's go ahead and create this piece down here. Let's go ahead and start with another cylinder, and this one I'm going to change the number of sides to 7. And let's go ahead and just drop that in, give it a little bit of thickness. Okay, it looks like it's not quite as thick as the other piece, which is what we want. And now we need to do some shaping on this guy. Okay, so let's go ahead and convert this to an editable poly. Okay, go ahead and take some of the vertices and let's just shape this general shape of this cover right here. So we'll go ahead and just put those vertices where they go, kind of right along here. This one's going to be inside this cylinder, and then kind of right along there. Okay, kind of just like that. All right, and if you want to, you can go ahead and shape this center to go with a kind of a matching shape here. So go ahead and take these points and just kind of match them up with that shape in the middle. Okay, same thing over here. Pull that in. And then I'll take these polygons. Okay, and then I'll pull these out. Give the same effect. Go back to the perspective here. Give the same effect that we had on our other piece. Okay, just pull those straight out. Okay, we'll go ahead and do a simple inset. All right, and then we'll go ahead and add some resolution just like we did with that other piece. So we'll go ahead and do a couple. Just pull those out a bit. Okay. Now on this, we may need to come in and add a little bit of resolution because when we smooth this, it may not hold its shape as well as we'd like. So you see if I smooth that out, see it kind of loses that shape. So we might want to come in and add a little bit of resolution in here. So we can go ahead and on any of these corners, go ahead and select that ring. Let's take this out a little bit because we don't want them to be quite so drastic. Same thing over here. And down here as well. Select that ring. Okay, you can also just do apply and then go back and select these as well. Okay, and then if you want to come in and start to connect some of these across, you can do that with your cut. So you can see how that now holds the shape a little bit better. Alright, and then what we want to do is add those hollow cylinders. Get back to the left. We now want to add those hollow cylinders in there, and we'll be able to blend those together. Alright, so let's go ahead and now just use a regular cylinder. Drop that in. And let me go to the, make sure I'm in the left view there. Drop that cylinder in the right spot if I could do that. And this can be the sort of cylinder right on top of that. And it can be, give it 8 or 12, something like that. Probably don't want to give it 7. 8's probably good enough. Just go ahead and bring that in to that particular area there. Scale it up a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and increase the thickness on that so it extends all the way out the front. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and convert this to an editable poly. Let's go ahead and now take these polygons right up here and just increase their size a bit. And then we'll take these and go ahead and extrude them forward. Okay, so you get something like that. And then you want to go in and add all of that resolution in there in order to hold those edges. Okay, and then just duplicate that down here. Okay, and I know that they're not connected or anything, but we're going to look at how we can make it look like they're connected and save us a lot of time and aggravation as far as getting all of this stuff looking like it's one piece. Okay, you want to do the same thing that we did here, also up here, just a little bit smaller, and just have those penetrating in. Okay, just some long cylinders there, just like this. Okay, so once we get all of that drawn out and connected, later on when we add our materials, we'll look at how we can make those look like they're all molded together. But as far as modeling goes, as soon as we're done with that, we're going to go and start to build the heads out here. Okay, you can see where there's kind of some vents. It's kind of hard to see in this picture. But we'll look at some other reference on these. You can see these cooling vents here, fins. And so we'll go ahead and start to build those in the next lesson.